What is going on, guys? Reisshub back with another video, and in this video I'm going to cover the dead side of the zone so you can all understand what it is, where it will be, and some examples of how and why to use this to your advantage. Okay, so let's get into it. The dead side of the zone is the side that has the least amount of people on it. So in most tournament games, the players will be evenly spread across the map. In this game, there's a slight weighting towards the bottom right quadrant, having 30 people there. However, this doesn't make much difference in the long run. This means that if the first zone is in the center of the map, there will be an even distribution of players throughout every side of the zone. This happens because all of the players will have to rotate an equal distance to the edge from each side of the map. However, if the first zone is in the southeast side of the map, the dead side of this zone is the east to south side of this zone. This is because the north to west sides of the zone is going to have the largest congestion of players because more people have to rotate from Shark, Craggy, Pleasant, Sweaty, Salty, Holly, Weeping, Slurpy, and the Rig to get into the zone, meaning there will be more congestion along this side of the zone. This is actually something that Zate does a lot in his gameplay. He drops at Sweaty Sands, and if the zone is over to the east side of the map, he usually goes to the north, as this way he'll be rotating around the edge of the zone where less people will likely to be. So you can see, just before the first zone's closed and the second zone's about to show where it is, you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the map that there's very few amount of people here. This is because there's nowhere for them really to rotate from, apart from the people who've dropped around there. For example, the people who drop Pleasant, there's no way they'll have rotated all the way down to this bottom right hand corner of the map yet. Again, you can see clusters of people here, for example around Lazy, around the hills to the north of that, and also to the west side of the map. But you can kind of start to see the bottom right hand corner of the map become the dead side, as there's not very many people there yet. People are rotating through Lazy, as I've already said, because people were coming from all these other POIs on the map, but also because it's a spot that they can re-harvest materials. So this is going to attract a lot of people to this area of the map. Similarly, on the bottom hill, a lot of people are going to try and get that as a centered high ground position to be in, as this is easy to rotate from, and you've got a great position to take shots from. Same with retail and the very center of the map. There's a large cluster of people there because there's a lot of materials they can harvest and it's dead centered, giving them a quick rotate. You don't necessarily want to stay away from these areas because there are times where you're going to want to go in, harvest more materials, especially near retail in the center. This is a really good spot to be sitting, along with on that hill to the bottom side as well. Where I wouldn't want to be sitting right now is in Lazy Lake. You can get materials, yes, but any rotate you're going to have to make is going to be really difficult from here because of the huge amount of congestion in front of you. When the fourth zone reveals itself, look how easy it is for the people on the dead side to rotate into it from their current position. Even if the zone was to the north near retail, the rotation would still be really easy. Obviously, if the zone was max distance and you're at an edge, you're always going to have a difficult rotate, but I'll be covering a full video on these rotation principles in the future, so this is just covering the dead side. The fifth zone is commonly referred to as the half in, half out. For the half that's out of the zone, we can consider this to be the dead side, because most people are going to rotate to the side that's in the fourth zone. This means that if you're within this one half of the zone, chances are you're going to be further away from other players. However, this doesn't really mean that you want to go there. Because this is such a small area, if you go into this dead side of the zone, say let's go to the complete max side, you're almost definitely going to get focused by a whole bunch of other players. A really nice position is actually something that Cakewood and Jinx did in the FNCS Duo Grand Finals down in OCE. They rotated to the dead side of the zone, but didn't go deep into it. This kept them away from other players and also enabled them to take shots and rotate freely from there, all while not getting sprayed by the entire lobby. When it comes to moving zones, there are multiple different positions where you'd like to be. Let's kind of ignore height just for the discussion here, but most of the time you're going to want to be sitting at the front of the zone because this is where there's going to be the least amount of people. Obviously you can shoot back as well here, but this is where you're going to have free reign of movement much easier than other places. If you're getting behind, you could be incongested with a lot of other players. You could also consider the edges of the moving zones to be the dead side as well. This is because there's going to be much less people rotating around each of the edges of the moving zones, and you're not going to have to cover one side of your tarp, because there's not going to be any players there. So you can consider this to be a dead side too, but ideally you want to be going in front of the zone. Okay, so let's take a look at an example of why rotating late and getting stuck into the congested side of the zone can be bad. Here we have Ockers, who is rotating through the west side of the zone in Lazy Lake. There's already 3 other people in Lazy with him and 7 people at the edge of the zone that can easily hold him. His loot is good, he has almost maximum materials, so there's absolutely no reason for him to be staying in this positioning. He gets to the edge of zone and one player starts to spray at him. As soon as this happens, the whole lobby starts to join in too. Look at the arrows that are looking at his direction, and how many people can spray at him here. Eventually he ends up being eliminated by Graza from behind. In contrast to this, let's take a look at how Smacked sets up his rotates from 2nd to 5th zone in the exact same game. He rotated to the edge of the 2nd zone, setting up on the edge of the map near the east side. When the 3rd zone is shown, he immediately rotates to the dead side of the zone, making it to 3rd by only using 15 builds. Once this 4th zone is revealed, look at how free his rotate is. There's barely any players around him. All he needs to do is rotate all the way to the south and hug the zone all the way in. He uses one big pot and around 20 builds to make this entire rotate, setting himself up in a really good position to play the late game. Of course, he gets 5th zone as well, which really helps him in moving, as he's got over 100 builds to work with in the rotating zones and a launch pad. I want to give a huge shout out to Nicky30 for enjoying my content, watching it on his stream, and commenting down below on my videos. It's helped me blow up so much. I thank him so much. So if you're watching, thank you again. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for the support lately. Please like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff helps me out. And hope you have a good day. See you.